All right, we're gonna do a decal installation, and last time we did a smaller decal, so hopefully this will help people that are trying to do an installation by themselves. All the stuff you need to start with. You'll need some alcohol to clean your window, soft towel, pair of scissors, a scraper. Don't use a license, use a gift card if you don't have an actual scraper, because a license will snap in half and it's no fun for anybody. Painter's tape and your decals, and that's all you need. So to start with, we're gonna take our alcohol, which mine is in a cool little bottle, and we're gonna clean our window where we're gonna do the installation. The alcohol gets any residue from old decals off, which Amanda wants her decal here in the corner, so it'll be easier for me to reach. Once you clean off your window, you want to take your painter's tape, and you're going to do a big long piece of painter's tape and put it straight down the center of your decal. It doesn't have to be perfect, that's just so you can line it up. Leave excess on either side. Hers is going to be off center, so it's not as big of a deal, but if you're lining it up to be straight, if you put the top up, you can still move the bottom around to where you want it. So it's important to leave excess on both sides. For Amanda's, we're gonna be down in this corner. I think that looks pretty good. Do you want the top of it up a little further? What do you think, Amanda? Is that good?
That looks good.
All right, so put my tape down. It's a little windy out here too, so that's a good thing because I can show you what could go wrong if the wind blows. I'm gonna take an extra little piece of tape that I'm gonna use since I don't have extra hands. But you're gonna start in the corner and you're gonna peel your decal back. And the reason for this extra tape is so that it doesn't fly back on me. In the meantime, I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna cut off this excess of the paper, and I'm gonna toss it to the side and I'll pick it up in a minute. So now that I've done that, I got a car coming by. I can take my scraper and start at the center and slowly work my way out to the edge, keeping the edge of it off of the window so you don't have bubbles. And if you do get bubbles, it'll be minimal, and most of them will work out in the sun and the heat. So I'm just scraping it from top to bottom slowly. Get this little piece of tape out of the way. All the way to the edge. And once I get it there, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna take my tape off because now that the right side is held down, I don't need this tape anymore. Throw it off to the side. Now, I'm gonna pull this side back and pull the paper out. Get rid of it, pick it up in a minute. Same thing with this. I'm gonna take my scraper and start at the center and work my way out. Just short strokes to make sure that I'm pushing the air out as I go. So once I get to the end, I just want to scrape over it and make sure it's down really good. Now, here's the important part. When you're peeling it back, you want to start in the corner. I don't need this tape. And you want to hold it down flat with the window. And as you peel it back, your design should stay on your windshield just like that. If it starts to come up in a couple spaces, if you just watch it as you're pulling it to make sure you're not missing any pieces that are stuck to the transfer tape, and go slow, because the faster you go, the more it'll rip. And once you start ripping it, it's done, especially on this outline style. So you want to make sure these little tiny pieces don't get stuck to your transfer tape as you're pulling. So just go slow and watch it. And if you do have a part that sticks to your transfer tape, you can usually pick it with a small pair of tweezers or even your scraper, just to put it back on the window. So as we go slow, you see the decal stays and the transfer tape goes. You can kind of rock it back and forth, and that helps it to come off a little faster. are. But just like here, do you see that? How it's stuck there? If I push that back up and I scrape it a little from the underside, either with a fingernail or with a scraper, it should stick down to the windshield better, and then you can pull it back. It takes about 48 hours for the adhesive of the material to cure, and after that you can wash it and take it through car wash and that kind of thing. So you just peel it off just like this, slowly. And I know it can get a little frustrating, and sometimes you get excited about it and you pull faster, but you want to make sure that none of your pieces are still stuck to your transfer tape. That's the most important part. So when you get to the end, it's done. And that's it. That's how you install bigger decals.